Today is a beautiful day, a cool Thursday, and we're glad to be with you. We'll be looking at the topic, social media regulation. Any justification? We learned that the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission is going to be engaging the National Assembly with the introduction of a bill to seek for due process in regulating the social media. The social media space has been bedeviled with so many things, and of course, when you look at the issues arising, then it is necessary that this kind of bill may have to be done with. I have with me today to discuss this crucial topic, Taiwo Sholanke. Taiwo Sholanke is an online publisher. You're welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
You're welcome. You are mostly welcome. I also have with me a known face on this platform. That is Adeniyi Adeyemi. Adeniyi Adeyemi is a social media influencer. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody at home.
Yeah, we learned that a lot, particularly the youths, have been agitating that there's no need for regulation of the social media. But it has been a diverse issue, diverse opinion on why it is necessary to regulate the social media. Any justification for the social media regulation?
Thank you very much, sir. Once again, my name is Sholanke Taiwo, an online publisher. The reason why the youth are really against the social media regulation is that the youth of Nigeria have seen social media regulation. They have seen social media entirely as a very capable tools to hear their view, to express their mind. You can see numbers of youth who mobilize Twitter, mobilize Instagram and other social handles, and we should talk about the Lekki saga. So the youth of Nigeria will always be against social media regulation.
Well, let me ask you, being against social media regulation, does it mean that government is not seen, or the regulators are not seen as unbiased agencies?
You mean the youth are seeing them as unbiased?
I'm asking whether the youth, in their own judgment, whether they have seen those regulatory agencies as biased.
Of course, sir. They are seeing them as their oppressors. Because if you look at those people who the youth are targeting, they target the politician, they target the musicians and the public figures, because they believe they can express their mind, they can hear their views. So they will believe that the federal government is being biased in the social media. Maybe they will think the federal government is silencing them.
Well, Adeniyi, let me ask you, in your own understanding of this proposed social media bill, social media regulation bill, are you thinking that it is not justified?
Actually, it is justified. Let's be sincere with ourselves. But from our own perspective, if federal government, NBC, they're saying, okay, we want to regulate the social media, it is what you own that you can regulate. Any social media, the one where you be it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, they have their own kind of regulation. We have some words that you can't use, it will be flagged. So if federal government is saying they want to regulate, I don't see them as a serious entity. Because when Twitter was blocked in Nigeria, people are still using VPN to log in. It has little or no effect unless they are deceiving themselves. But I believe one thing is, if we have those that has the technical know-how about ICT at the helms of affair, they will tell you that there are some things that you can't do. What the federal government ought to work on is the cyberbullying act. All those areas.
We'll get to that.
Okay. So now, but in terms of regulation, if, like my colleagues and my friend is saying, see, the youth may not want the federal government to regulate, but between me and you know that social media has become a menace to the journalism, to the general populace, because somebody can just sit somewhere and cook up any story and push to this. And we have, I don't want to use the word gullible, we have a lot of people that believe hook, sink and line on anything they see, particularly on WhatsApp, on those groups. So if you don't regulate such, we'll be having problems, because somebody will just cook up and will just go and dig up old stories, and people will still be circulating it. You can imagine a child that was lost around 2015 still being circulated as fresh kidnap cases, and people will be carrying the phone around, especially the retirees. You know, I noticed them because they don't have any other thing doing, so they tend to always stick or stuck to their WhatsApp. So any information that they are the major dissemination of those fake news. So it is good if the federal government can regulate.
It may be unfair to say that, but that's not the timing. Let me quickly take you up on I agree that there's what we call community standard.
Yes.
With all these social media
applications,
operators, and then search engine users and the like. And you are saying it is necessary. I agree with you, it is very, very necessary, because in any nation where there is no law, there is no crime. But of course, we have seen so many breaches. And even with the community standards that are in operation, we have also seen so many breaches. The agencies are not too prompt enough to curb all those things. There will have been issues before they now flag those postings.
Okay.
Now, what is even necessitating the call for social media regulation is the issue of cyberbullying that you mentioned. It has created a lot of mental headache.
Yes.
It has created, if not disunity in the nation.
Yes, you are right.
And so,
okay, now let me tell you one thing. That's why I said we need to. I didn't mean federal government has the capacity. From my own perspective, they have the domineering effect over those social media like Twitter, Instagram. Then we can regulate. The only thing we can do is work on our judiciary systems. If anybody cyberbully, you flag, you prosecute such person. We have a lot of
application of the law.
Yes, application of the enforcement. But like he said, we can't trust the government.
We can't trust them.
You understand? Because they will always be biased if it concerns them. You understand? But cyberbullying has become another menace. Because when I see we have a set of followers on Twitter, let them not handle your matter. Yeah,
they will take it.
They will drag you till. In fact, you will be thinking of committing suicide. You understand? And there are some cases online that, like about the issue of molestation, particularly when it comes to these feminists. They don't want to listen to the other side of the story. They will start hammering. In fact, they will post you to the extent that even your employer will be forced to take action against you. But at the end of the day, you discover that it is fake news, blackmailing. You understand? So, cyberbullying must be taken seriously by the federal government so that, see, we can't regulate what anybody posts online. No. But on those applications, those social media applications, there are some words that you can use. They will flag you.
Probably with the use of some softwares.
Yes.
Algorithm.
Exactly. Immediately you punch it, they will flag it. They will flag your message.
Like kill,
Like idiot, you are just
foolish.
foolish. You can't use it online.
Can't use it.
So, but our people have gotten another way to work around the
They will
lettering.
just put star in the middle of the derogatory words.
Words, you
They
understand?
will put it and they will express themselves.
And you can assume what they were talking about.
Yes, you
You
understand.
assume it and you understand it.
But
Well, let me ask you. This issue of cyberbullying, can you let us know what it is and what it has done? What are the elements of cyberbullying that we are observing in the society today?
Okay, thank you, sir. See, cyberbullying is a case where someone is taken to social media and negative words are said about the person. And instead of the person getting positive impact or getting a defense from the people on social media, the person will, all the people on social media will attack the person, saying all sorts of negative words against the person. We have seen a case in the modern world where a little child was bullied. Yeah. And at the end of the day, the child has no option than to commit suicide. So cyberbullying is not a good thing in our society. It's more or less like harassment. Yeah. When someone harass someone on social media, public harassment, even without even knowing the truth of the matter,
not at all.
They just jump to conclusion. Like my brother said the other time, feminists of a team, anything concerning the females, they always support themselves. They don't want to know. They don't want to investigate. They don't want to know what's really transpired. All they are all about is supporting their it has killed so many people. It has run so many people to depression.
Yes. Even what about businesses?
Even businesses have run businesses down. Because as we are in modern age now, there are some businesses that if you don't include social media into their business, it will move.
Yes.
Let us take instance. Before, in the olden days, like in the 90s, before people read newspaper, they have to go to the newsstand and get their newspaper. As time goes on, when we have Android phone, even before you wake up, your news is already on your phone, which make print company run at loss. People don't buy newspaper again.
But that's innovation.
I know it's innovation, but it is affecting some people.
Well, when you have innovation, it is also supposed to create more platforms
Yes, sir.
for creativity.
Yes, sir.
And
I'm still coming to that, sir.
Okay.
So in that case, the problem of so many newspaper agencies is that they are not moving with the trend of modernization.
But we have some media, print media, also having online.
They have online, sir. I'm still coming to that, sir.
Okay.
Sir, they might have subsell in journalism. That subsell too has gone beyond subsell.
Okay.
Because
So what are the new
we have the data journalism.
Okay.
People interpret their messages, even with graph, with histogram, with everything, the way they compile their news. That is data journalism. They are going beyond online.
The customary.
Also, they are going beyond. They are following the trend of modernization.
Okay.
Unlike some people that all they know is put picture, put the story there.
We have seen that it is causing some destructive tendencies among citizens. And that can be observed, just like you said, on WhatsApp and these other social media channels. What can we do? Particularly those people who manage such platforms. What do you suggest we should be doing?
Okay, actually, what federal government did with Twitter when somebody posted a wrong information about our president then, that led to the blockage of Twitter in Nigeria. In fact, some Twitter executives had to come down. Though Nigerian youth were able to maneuver our way, we were still using Twitter, but to a common man, to a layman, you can't just log in.
You can't just log in.
Your IP will be blocked. So by taking critical steps. Even we got to a point that federal government said even Facebook, there are some money they are supposed to be paying their period for awareness of everything. So if it's like we have the population, and what we are saying is even social media, each application needs population to make
it effective.
Exactly, effective, or even fund generating funds. They need people. So if they discover that fine, there is something against the federal government and this nation is working against us, they too will take critical steps to forestall such. But my own concern is, what is Nigerian government regulating? They need all what they need to do is just talk to the developers. And they now
software developers?
Yes, the software developers. Yeah, he took over, he bought Twitter now. We have so everybody, virtually everybody. They are not faceless. They can talk to them. You understand? And give them to, okay, this is what is going on in our country. This thing is creating a negative rule. We have some countries that don't allow social media.
That's true. I was about talking about the issue of culture. The issue of culture. Maybe it will look at
okay. Culture on social media, sir.
For example, what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, with the emergence of social media, we know that all news, every activity are pervasive on the platform. But some countries, according to NIE, is that they don't allow full use of social media. Their culture is still sustained. Yes. What do you suggest for Nigeria?
Nigeria can also imbibe in such move. But in Nigeria we are today, we don't really value culture. Because if you value culture, there are some things that should not be allowed to post on social media when it comes to culture.
And that is the issue of control.
So if there can be a body, an authority that can checkmate all these postings, because ordinarily there should be a regulatory body that will curb all the postings on social media. Any post that can bring about
that
negative,
can be detrimental
to the society, that can bring war, that can bring all the bad things to the country, should be regulated, and maybe a fine should be placed on anybody that is found in such a move.
Well, let me ask Ni, the issue of transparency in content management. How do we handle that?
Transparency in content management actually is good, but it depends on the creator and it depends on the platform. If you are posting, we have WhatsApp groups, we have groups in all these LinkedIn, we have groups.
Instagram.
Now, if somebody is posting into the group, the onus lies on the admin to make it stay or delete.
Okay.
You understand? That's another way of checking cyberbullying or whatever, any negative abuses on social media. You understand? So if we can work on, then we need to work on youth. When you talk about culture, I wanted to chip in one thing before you started. See, they believe social media is another avenue where they can vent their anger without control. Where they can abuse anybody without control. Which boils down to the cultural background of that user. We need to start letting them to know, probably because we are the last generation.
Probably they are seeing it as a freedom platform.
Exactly, freedom platform.
Because even for people who be quoting freedom of information.
Yeah, let me see.
We'll talk about that also.
I think Abacha said that thing. If I may be correct. He said there is freedom of information, but you can't guarantee freedom after freedom. No, after that information,
Freedom of speech.
You have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't guarantee your freedom after the speech. So, but if we imbibe that heart, fine, we are not saying you can't say this, but whatever is coming after, if you know that you can bear the constitution, in your part of the problem, s'il vous plaît.
Well, let me quickly highlight one area. When we talk about freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of expression and the like, probably because people don't understand that there's always a limit. That freedom is not absolute.
Not absolute.
It's not absolute in the sense that I started a case yesterday on the platform, not to GTV, and it has to do with the fact that let's look at the issue of journalism, issue of associations, unions. Of course, there is freedom of association, but it has also been clearly stated that you are only free to do your membership drive within the area of jurisdictional scope that you have. So if you are a medical association, you cannot say because you have a freedom of association, you want to bring in nurses, you want to bring in tailors, you want to bring, no. So there must be the need for that understanding that when we talk of freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of whatever, there's a limit. And that limit is when you breach the laws of the land, you will be cited. So we will be rounding up this program. What advice do you have?
The advice I have for
Falale to the youth.
To the youth, okay. The advice I have for the youth is that they should stop venting their angers on social media. They should look for a way to showcase their ideas instead of putting all their energies on what is not profitable.
Frivolous issues.
Frivolous issue that even if they shout, solution cannot be done on it.
Adeni, your take.
My own take is the parents should monitor their kids, their works. Whatever they are doing, they should monitor their kids.
Thank you very much. Viewers, we have been admonished to ensure that our youths, even citizens, conform to the laws of the land. Let us sustain our social culture. Let us maintain discipline and gender unity in the nation. On to next week, this is how far we can go. I am Akin Okudero. Remember, we must live in harmony.